All right, so back at it again for another one. This is Connecticut's most controversial podcast. This is the Domino Effect, and as always, I go by the name of Domino. And I'm here in Brooklyn. I'm here at Platform Studio. Shout out to Ryo. Shout out to my man in the room. I forgot his fucking name already. Shout out to him on the boards. And the guest I got today, if you read it in the title, you already know. But every time this nigga comes to Connecticut, I seem to miss him. Shout out to Bria Simone for throwing the alley-oop, but couldn't finish the shit. So, I'm out here in Brooklyn, came to where he's from, so he don't have to go that far to meet me somewhere. So we got artists, journalists, and pretty much the head of Genius. We got Rob Markman in the building.
Wow, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. First of all, appreciate you coming to Brooklyn.
Yeah,
for sure, what I'm saying, to make this happen. I know we've been talking about it for a little bit.
I thought you was curving me a little bit, but it's all right.
Nah, man. It just gets so busy, but I try to be as genuine as possible. So if I say I'm gonna do something, I try. I hear you. How's everything, man? To make it happen. Everything been great, man. I can't complain, man. Like everything's been good, busy, but I always say busy is better than the alternative. Like,
right.
We used to pray to be busy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, man. Everything is good with Genius, with the music, and yeah.
How's your Father's Day?
Father's Day was cool. What did I do for Father's Day? I went to go see my old man.
Oh, you did?
Father's Day, for the most part.
Okay.
Hung out with my kids or whatever. But it was low key. But I wanted to go see my pops. I'm just at that point too, where it's like I'm really starting to appreciate my pops even more. Like when I see all the things that's just happening around me, I'm grateful for the lessons that he taught me. So I try to spend as much.
You kind of see the shit that you put him through.
Yeah, a little bit.
Your kids?
Yeah, a little bit. But I catch all of it before it comes. It's like I got good kids, man, but I see it before y'all about to do it. I see what y'all about to do. I did it.
I've been there, yeah.
So it's all good. But it was beautiful, man. It was blessed, man.
Word. All right, so SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever the fuck you get your podcast, we are there. Domino Effect Podcast at gmail.com. For any comments, questions, or concerns, if you want your question answered in the what segment, you can reach me there. That's Domino Effect Podcast at gmail.com. So, just going to get into your business real quick and see what's going on with you. So, first and foremost, congratulations on the new album.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Congratulations on performing at Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
Now, how was that performing at Rolling Loud? Your name is on the bill. Your name is in the back on the big screen. You actually getting on stage and performing. How did that feeling?
That was unreal because I mean, again, like we pray for times like this, like to quote Meek, right? Like you really, I dreamed it, like I seen it, like in my head, being on stages that big and to actually bring it to reality was amazing. Somebody had made a comment when I posted the Rolling Loud flyer and my name was on it. They was like, damn, 21 Savage was one of the headliners on the night that I was supposed to go. He was on the original flyer. And somebody was like, yo, Rob just interviewed 21 and now he's performing at the same festival with him.
Right.
And I looked at the lineup and I said, yo, I interviewed like 75% of these artists and I'm on the bill with them. So, that was cool just to be recognized as an artist within the group of artists that are doing amazing things. So, shout out to Tarek and the whole Rolling Loud team. That was a dream come true. And boy, I had fun on that stage, man.
I bet you did, yeah. I saw the little clips about you. You was doing your thing, bouncing. You was performing, real artist shit. Yeah,
absolutely. And we was on the big stage, like and you realize how much you have to work to perform on a stage that big. It gave me a new appreciation and made my goals bigger. I've performed before on many stages for years, even before people knew I rap, even before I was a journalist. But that big stage, you see a guy like Travis Scott on that stage, and he has the fireworks, and he has everything going for him.
Theatrics, yeah.
And God bless him. He's an amazing performer. But it's because that stage is so big, you need things going on. Like to get up there and just rap. Yeah. Ain't enough. Like you gotta really put on the show.
Instagram, it looks small, but then when you get out there, I bet it's like at least 30, 40 feet, 50 feet, more than that probably.
Yeah, it was a workout, but it was dope, man. I rapped over my instrumentals. I didn't, wasn't no full track.
Yeah, it was no track. Yeah,
half rapping. Like I was up there rapping, And I was up there moving, and we did a freestyle, and it was cool. The reception was dope.
It's dope, man. Now, was that your proudest hip hop moment?
Wow, that's a good question. I think maybe my proudest moment was just getting the first project out.
Okay.
The Right to Dream project. Just because everything starts with that having the courage to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always knew I could do it. There was people who told me I couldn't. And sometimes, I guess somewhere along the way, you start to believe them. And the biggest hurdle was having the courage to say, hey, I'm doing this. And I don't care what nobody say, if they like it, if they hate it. Like, this is me. I've always been an artist. I always made music. Like, man, I'm not hiding it no more, and I'm putting it out. So I think that moment where I put that first project out, the first Right to Dream project in 2017, was like the moment for me that felt super proud.
Okay. Now, what did that solidify for you when you put that first project out? You was like, hey, now I'm an actual rapper. It's no more talking. I got an actual album out people can listen to. This ain't just a pipe dream. This is something you can touch and listen to.
It solidified to me that I could do anything, that there's no limits to this thing. And really what happened was, because I had got so far in my career as a journalist, I didn't think I was going to make it this far, like even in life. Like, you know what I mean? Coming from where I came from and being surrounded by some of the things that I was surrounded by, I didn't think I was going to make it this far. But even as a journalist coming up, like, you know, first thing when I got into the game, I would only write album reviews in the back of the Source or back of XXL. That's kind of how they started you out back in the print era. Then when I tried to transition into camera, when I was at XXL, I did some on-camera things, and it was like, nah, that on-camera thing ain't for you. But Sway, when I got to MTV, Sway helped foster that and helped kind of mentor me in that way. And now I'm doing on-camera stuff. Now the things I'm doing at Genius. Like, even when I first started as a journalist, I was told by certain people that I wasn't going to be able to do the things that I'm doing now as a journalist.
Right.
So releasing the music just solidified, like, yo, it is nothing you can't do. And not just for me, that goes for anybody. Like, yo, you could do it, yo. Like, you know, I don't know how many I'm going to sell at the end of the day. I don't know how many platinum plaques I'm going to get. I don't know how many #1 records I'm going to get. And those are still goals and things that I'm shooting for. But before even that, you got to get it out.
Right, yeah.
Anybody could put a record out. If you really think about it, like, what's stopping you?
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing to get a tune.
We've heard them, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So now that the music is out now, after the first project, it's like, yo, I want to compete. And not compete in the sense of necessarily battle somebody, but I want to make sure my raps, my skill, my talent, my music is good enough to be in the conversation. Like, so just existing is not the goal anymore. It's like, nah, y'all got to put me in the conversation, and that means I got to push myself.
Yeah, now being a rapper now, you have to have that bravado, like, yo, I'm the best. Any nigga that come against me on the track, I got to rip them up.
Right. So
you got to have that. Now, is that conflicting as an interviewer? It was like you sit across from a nigga like, yo, I'm better than this nigga.
Nah, because I was doing that before I was putting music out. Like I said, I was
always in your head.
Yeah, I was always making music. Like, that's the thing that people, I didn't just start making music. You know, I used to go by different names back in the day and stuff like that. Like, I've had stuff on Two Dope Boys and Now, right? Like, back in the blog era. Like, I've performed in and around New York City, open mics. I've done battles. So I've always rapped. You know, a lot of cats in kind of the NY scene locally know that and know me from that. So there was times I would interview artists from the very beginning. And I'm like, man, I could rap better than this guy.
Way better than this nigga.
So, you know, there's a little bit of that. But really the main competition is myself.
Right,
like, I'm just trying to outdo me. I'm not looking, you know. And, you know, I'm realistic with it. I'm just trying to really make a better track than what I made yesterday.
Right.
You know?
Now, It's Too Late at the Wake. Came out May 8th. What's been the reception of that project so far? It's
funny. Reception has been really good. You know, I think for Right to Dream, I think the first project, the reception was good, and people were surprised that them knowing me as a journalist, that I could rap as well as I could rap. It was like, oh, wow. Yo, okay, he can actually rap.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if people saw it maybe as a gimmick or a novelty or just something I was going to be like one and done. And I think It's Too Late at the Wake. I think the music is way better. I push myself to get better.
Definitely.
And that's kind of the feedback that I've been getting. Like, damn, this is better than the first project. Yo, like, maybe he's really for real with this, you know? And so that's kind of what the reception is I think people seeing the how much better I got from the first project to the second project and are taking it a little more seriously.
Now, is there anything that can happen in your rap career that will make you put journalism to the side?
Nah, I don't think so. Nothing that I see in the foreseeable future.
But what if you get one?
Like, what's one?
Like if you get one, like it's on the radio, you got a video out, it's bumping in cars, you know, you can't go nowhere. Everybody know that Markman song.
You know what it really is? It boils down to time. What will I have time to do?
Okay.
So I'm not planning on it. I have no desire to leave journalism. Like, it all stems from a love of hip hop.
Right, yeah.
You know, so, you know, if I catch one and I could still do interviews and have a record on the radio and do Genius, I love Genius. Like, we set out for a mission, and I'm having fun doing it. I think it's more of a question of, will the success make more demands on my time that I can't invest in the other things that I love? But, you know, my whole thing is, I mean, this the generation. I mean, look at Jay. Look at, you know, Diddy is another one. Like, nobody tells them what they can't do. Like, they don't limit themselves. You know what I'm saying? Remember when Jay broke into sports? Yeah. Scott Boras, it was the whole thing how they was like, yo, you can't really be in sports, and they look down on him. And he broke that wall. So it's like, I didn't start rapping to leave journalism. I did it. One of the things I did to hopefully inspire other people, like, yo, you don't have to be defined by one thing. You could hustle more than one way.
Word. Now, the title is Too Late at the Wake.
Yeah.
Now, that's you saying, hey, I got to live this dream now because tomorrow anything can happen.
Yeah.
Now, is this you looking to get flowers or give them, or?
Both.
It's
both. It's you know, I believe we got to give people the flowers while they could still smell them. And that's been a lot of my mission. You know, I often get criticized for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm too complimentary to artists, but we got the best genre of music in the fucking world. You know, I seen Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace. You know, there's people who I'm glad Nipsey is getting his flowers, but I wonder, there's people who I see tweet about Nipsey every day who have changed their avatar to Nipsey Hussle, who have the marathon flags on their Twitter names and handles. And you see how loved Nipsey is. I just hope Nipsey knew how loved and appreciated he was while he was still here.
I don't think he did. And that's the shit that bothers me a lot, because I really think about Nip every day. Right. Like, in some shape, form, or fashion. It was like, yo, this nigga's really gone.
Right.
And at least once a week, I'm listening to a Nipsey project, whether it be, you know, Crenshaw or the Victory Lap or whatever. And for his music to blow up the way it did after his death, and people seeing how dope he is and the philanthropy and everything that he's been doing, that shit bothers me to no end. Like, I can't even explain, like, how much that bothers me. It's like...
But there's a chance he might have known Nipsey, and I knew Nipsey, you know, and he was somebody that I considered a friend and somebody I admired. I mean, you know, I worked at XXL.
Right.
I was part of the staff when we did the freshman cover when Nipsey was on.
Right.
Like, you know, I've heard albums that didn't come out early on from when Nip was signed to Epic and with, yo, Rob, come to the studio, play this album. All the way up to Victory Lap. Yo, Rob, I want to play this album for you. I think he knew. You know, he might not have seen it, maybe not to this magnitude, but that was a man who was so confident in his vision and his art and his mission. And you know, I think one was the belief in himself, but I think he's seen how maybe it wasn't the mass amount of people that loved him, but the people who loved him, I think helped fuel him. So I think he's seen parts of that. But you know, I wonder, just and just to be clear too, it's Too Late at the Wake. I had that title and that concept before Nipsey's death. It just so happened it came out around the time when it's really a topic of conversation. And it's like, yo, you gotta give people the flowers while they can still smell them. Like, you know, I think about people just in your life, right? Who you go through it with, and you be like, damn, could this be the last conversation I have with my homie?
I had that shit all the time.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
all the time. Be like, yo, is this gonna matter in like a year or so?
Right. And you know, I was going through things like, you know, I have a friend that I grew up with that I used to rap with. I used to do all types of things with one of my best friends. Growing up, we don't talk no more. During me making this album. And I think about it, I saw him at a funeral. I saw him at another friend's funeral. And I thought maybe like this is where we might bury the hatchet. So I went up to him to give him a pound and a hug. You know how we greet each other. You know, we had my man's funeral, man. Let me go up and give him a pound and a hug. And we were in front of people that knew. And, you know, it was almost like Jay. It was like coming of age. You know how they talking about the tension between them, but nobody noticed the tension between them. But there's tension. So this is me and my man. So there's a bunch of people around us. Nobody really knows what we going through, but we know. So I go to give him the pound and the hug, and I give him the pound, and he stops me and he puts his forearm and prevents me from giving the hug. And I said, oh, I know what type of time we on. All right. And I just left it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm wrong, maybe he's wrong. But these are things that's going through my mind, because at a funeral you could fix it. Or you should be able to fix it.
That's supposed to be the time, like, yo, you see what happened, that could be one of us. I don't want this shit to...
But maybe not. Maybe I ain't go about it. Maybe my olive branch needed to be verbal. Maybe it was whatever. But he on his type of time, on my type of time. But if it ends tomorrow, somebody who I love, sincerely, who I came up with, that might be the last interaction that we have. So all of this is going through my mind, listening, you know, recording this Too Late at the Wake. So it's about giving people flowers, but it's also about give me my flowers too. I'm great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I believe in me. Like, don't, you know, and especially, and on the other side is the rapping tip. Like, I know what my music, I know what this transition of me moving into music is doing. I see how it's inspiring people. I think, you know, if I'm gonna be real, because anybody can look it up, it's all public. If you look on Spotify, like it's not streaming crazy. Right. You know what I'm saying? My numbers is not, I'm not viral off of it. But let me tell you something. The people that DM me, the fans, after I was done with Rolling Loud, instead of chilling backstage with the rest of the artists, I went to the crowd and kicked it with fans and met fans. The messages that I got, the things that people tell me, I'm talking about everyday people, not industry people, about how this music is affecting them, how it's inspiring them to pick up and do the dreams that they want to do. I know what my mission is, and I know it's important. And the music might get its props when I'm gone. Like, maybe that's just the way the dice roll. But I'm like, man, give it to me now. It's too late at the wait, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful for the people that love me, but don't love me in silence. Like, because I'm not the type of, I'm very verbal with, I'm like a goddamn cheerleader. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You like
if I like something, I say it. And I don't give a fuck if you sold 10 million or 10 copies. Like, there's a bunch of artists that'll tell you on Twitter. Like, sometimes when I had the time, and if I'm not busy and somebody was like, yo, Rob, I just want you to listen to this. I might listen to your joint and I'm going to give you feedback. It might not be nothing I could do for you. That don't mean I could bring you to genius or whatever. Right. But we could chop it up, because I don't approach this shit like I'm better than nobody. But, you know, give me the same respect that I give. And there's a little bit, there was a little bit of a chip too, because I feel like I wasn't getting the respect that I deserve from certain people too. So it was a lot of meanings to that. It's too late at the wake.
Now, you give a fuck about that admiration from certain people. Like, you do this for you. You know, this is to get your dream out, your thoughts, your feelings, this whatever. Now, do you still give a fuck about validation from certain people? Like, do people have to say, hey, you did it, for you to feel like I won?
Yes and no, right? Okay. Because I think, one, you're right. I do it totally for me, right? But in being an artist, I think artists crave that kind of validation, that support, and from certain people that, like, you know, the thing that bothers me, bothers a strong word, but I see certain people downplay it when it's like, come on, B. Like, come on, man. But at the same time, I can't complain, man. I seen people give it up publicly. I seen Nicki Minaj give it up publicly. Like, that was dope. Like, Pusha, you know, one of the crazy things, I didn't send Pusha my album. I sent him a couple joints when I was working on it, and when I dropped, and Pusha probably gave me the best kind of advice. Like, I was sending him joints, and he was just like, nah, when you get back in the studio, do it like this. this is how you gotta do it. So Pusha gave me like some advice that I could use before I dropped the first project. But I didn't send him the project. I just put it out. And when I put it out, I dropped a song called I Don't Want to Wait, was my first single. And Pusha's just tweeting bars. He's not even atting me. He's just I was like, yo, because I said, you know, if you listen to my song, I Don't Want to Wait, it's about me saluting my OGs. You know, when I was at a certain age, a real impressionable age, my older brother went to jail. And that was the guy that I looked up to. And my best friend, around the same time, his older brother got murdered. So we was wilding because we ain't have the two guys that we looked up to are gone. And we out here feeling like we was doing shit we had no business doing. And I had one OG who was a hustler. He was about 8 to 10 years older than me. He used to hustle. When he took me under his wing, we used to chill at his house. You know, he used to break us off with money, whatever we wanted. And he was living that lifestyle. So I'm seeing that. So after a while, I'm like, yo, put me on.
Let me get down.
And he was going to smack fire on me. He was like, yo, this ain't for you. Like, why you think I'm over here, but I'm not grooming you for this. This shit ain't for you.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the importance of what he did until years later. So I Don't Want to Wait as a homage to that. Like, so I had this lyric where I said, and I'm saluting this man for not putting me in the game, not taking advantage of me. And I had a lyric that said, I could have been a crash test dummy, pumping for herringbones, beepers, and sneaker money. Because that's what we was wearing at the time. You had a fresh herringbone, you know.
You was doing it.
You was doing something. And that's all we wanted, man. Just pay my beeper, some Jordans. And Pusha quoted that lyric. And I was like, damn, that was the realest shit.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like an ill bar. But I think if you come from that life, and I didn't do the shit that Pusha did coming up.
Yeah,
I was on the other
to
side of it.
Yeah.
But for him to pick up on that line specifically, I'm like, yo, he gets it. Like,
Yeah,
maybe
he
might have known a kid like me coming up. You know what I'm saying? He might have done the same thing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Royce has been supportive. Wale has been supportive. I saw Crooked Eye give it up during he has Crook's Corner with Hip Hop DX, and him and Daylight were talking, and they both gave it up. And you know, the Daylight come from that battle circuit. Crooked one of the rawest to ever do it. For me to get a nod from those guys, and me and Daylight aren't even. I had met him after. It wasn't like we was friends or he was doing the homie thing. Like, so you know, I get it from certain people, but you know, I think artists kind of crave validation. I just think it's to a certain degree where it becomes.
I think we all do.
Yeah,
a little bit. So now, first track of the album, right? The new album, kind of like a venting session.
Yeah,
it's kind of get some shit off your chest.
Yeah.
So, what was going through your head, or what happened that day that you just had to let that out when you was writing that?
It's funny too. I wrote that. It wasn't a day that I wrote that. I wrote that over. I take my time writing. Mos Def has this lyric. Something pen hits the page. I start a rhyme. Sometimes I won't finish for days. You know what I'm saying? And I always felt like there was something wrong because you hear everybody nowadays. Everybody talk about how they just freestyle. I just go in the booth and freestyle.
20 minutes.
I'm not that type of artist. So I always related when Mos Def said that. I start a rhyme. Sometimes I won't finish for days. So I have maybe written this over the course of a week or whatever, but you know, it was just feeling like it was that venting session, like you said, like feeling like I'm not getting my just due, like feeling like, and it was personal. It wasn't about the game in particular. It was about certain people. It was like, yo, there's certain people I put on for, like go to the ends of the earth for, and I felt like I wasn't getting that same respect back. I wasn't getting that same love back. It wasn't reciprocated. So that was about that, you know what I'm saying? And it was about, you know, certain like personal kind of relationships and personal people that you put on for, and then when it's your turn, you know, they not, you know, nothing. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it just was what it was.
You got a bar that everybody call me bro now, but only reach out when it's time for their rollout.
Oh, that's real.
So now, explain to me how important it is to keep that personal relationship like outside of business. Cause I know a lot of niggas stay in business mode like 24/7, but they forget to like when does humanity kick in?
Right, and it's cool, and that's why I said too. I'm talking about certain people with real relationships. Like my job is my job. Like you know, being that genius is my job to kind of be on the pulse of what's going on, figure out what's happening, and figuring out ways that we could create with artists. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the job. But from the bros, like don't bro me to death. Me. And then when I need you, it's like you get the runaround,
the voicemail, be real, left on red.
Yeah, be real industried out. And so it was more for that. You know what I'm saying? The business is the business, but it was more speaking to those personal relationships. Like, don't bro me to death, and then I don't hear from you.
Don't hit me when you need me.
To it's time for you roll. And then sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes like genius don't make sense. Sometimes I just can't do it. And I'm honest about that. Yo, this is not really gonna work right now for what we doing, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be straight up with it. But come on, man, you the bro, da da da. Nah, I'm not.
We not. We
What's
ain't
my
fly
birthday?
like that. Exactly.
What's my son's name? What's my mother's name?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Simple
like,
shit.
Don't pull the bro shit out when convenient. That's more what that line was. Don't do the bro shit when it's convenient to you. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't that kind of what you signed up for when you started in journalism?
Probably.
Where it's like,
no.
Well, not so much that, but you know, they do only come to you when they.
Yeah, and when it makes sense. You know, there's this saying that if you can't be used, that you're useless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's separating, that's fully understanding the industry that I'm in. Like, you know, when it's rollout time, it's like, man, what can we do? You know, I'm talking more about the shit that just don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I'll be honest, people will come to me and if I can't do anything, if I can't make something happen, I can't make it happen. And I'll let you know. But then it's like, yo, bro this and bro that. And it's like, come on, man, don't bro me to death. Because there's some people, when it's business, it's like, yo, now's not the right time, or this is not going to work for us, or this is what I need to make it work. It's not going to work. And the business side of it is like, all right, we understand. We'll catch you on the next one. Let's figure it out. And you always keep the line of communication open. I'm talking about the ones that just try to bro you down.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not gonna.
After a while, it's not gonna work. Bro.
Yeah,
like,
that's
come
it.
on.
Yeah.
Now, how did you approach this project different from your last project?
How did I approach it different? You know, one thing was, I wanted to change the tempo from a performance aspect. I wanted more songs that I could perform. That will move a little bit. So that's why you get like the If I Should Die. Is one of those songs, and The Greatest is one of those songs with a little more bounce to it. Even Jehovah Witness got just a little more punch to it, and even Grown Man Gossip got a little more punch to it. The first project I think was more introspective. Like I had a song on the first project called Jason's Lyric, which was like 5 minutes long. It was a story track. There's no way I'm performing that.
Exactly.
You know, I just realized when I was doing shows the first time around, as much as I love the music, it didn't really translate in a live show. So, you know, I definitely wanted things that just moved a little more, that pushed the tempos up a little more, had catchier hooks and things like that. But besides that, just really elevating the lyricism and, you know, picking better beats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I really locked in with 2 producers. And yeah, that was, you know, kind of the main things, and just getting better. It was really like focused on just getting my pen better.
Now, how long did this project take to record? Because you put out an album last year.
Yeah, what
you came right back.
Well, yeah, what happened was Right to Dream came out 2017 in July. 2018, I put out 8 singles. 8 to 9
That's what it
singles.
was. Okay, yeah.
So I damn near put out an album. I just didn't want to put out an album. I was like, man, I just want to keep hitting young singles. And then I said, okay, let me come back. And album time. So I'm trying to think. I dropped it May 8th, right? I'm trying to think. The first track I recorded, it took about a year. Maybe 8 months.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was in the midst. I would be recording stuff and I'm like, nah, I'm going to hold this. So I'll start something and I wouldn't finish. I would say about 8 months it probably took.
Okay.
To get this one done.
Now, how'd you go about the features on the album?
I just did what felt right, because features are weird too. For me, being in the industry, like, you know, again, my job is my job and my art is my art. So, you know, I can't. it's a funny position once you start kind of playing the features game because it's like I owe you a feature back, you know
right? Yeah.
like or something like that. But I really just worked with people. One, I think that complimented the record, and people that I really vibe with in real life. It wasn't, Styles P is on the record.
Yeah,
on a song called Next Check.
That was big,
and that Styles P gave it up. Styles P DM'd me one day. Or I DM'd him about something. It was about something totally different. And I think it was when, matter of fact, I know exactly when it was. It was when B-Dot, when it was that whole controversy.
Oh, that Bad Boy shit?
If you know, B-Dot said that Mace was.
Yeah, man.
So
it was wild, but you know.
So me and B-Dot's the homie. Like that happened in that thing originated in our group chat. Like me, B-Dot, Charlamagne, Hovain, Kaz, we have a group chat. And so that debate started in the group chat.
Right.
Charlamagne took it off to the radio.
Yeah, that's the shit I don't really fuck with. Like, yo, we kept this internal, keep it internal, but it's Charlamagne, so I get it.
Yeah, that's big homie. It was just funny. Plus, it's just rap debates. Like Styles P wasn't offended, but
nah, he was offended.
He wasn't hatefully offended.
Yeah.
Like it goes back to that thing, right? Do you need validation? Does Styles P need validation from B-Dot? No, that's Styles P. He's a fucking legend. But there's the artist party, the competitive part that's like, what?
Yeah.
Because,
But I still think with Styles, it's like, yo, who the fuck are you to mention me and, put me here?
But it's love between, I know for a fact it's love between them. Like, he don't feel no type of way.
But still, Yonkers.
But I had hit Styles. We were talking about it. And he was like, oh, by the way, I see what you're doing with your rap shit, and I respect it. If you need a verse from me, just holler. And a couple of months had passed, or maybe a month, sometime, and I did Next Check, and I had the verse and the hook. And I said, damn, Styles sound good on this. So I woke up in the morning, Styles is up on his early morning shit. Right. I sent him the record early that morning. He was like, yo, just send it. I sent it. And he sent the verse back the same day.
Wow.
Like, and this is a legend. This is like stone cold spitter style. Like Styles right now, I don't know if you know, like he's in work mode. Like he dropped 4 projects last year.
Just project after project.
Yeah, he's in such a zone, and I was so grateful. And then Chris Streets jumped on that as well, and that's the homie as well. And so we did that project. And Chris Streets is just a friend of mine and somebody who I respect his ability. So, that just happened organically. I got a song called Last Supper at Babylon.
That's my shit.
Yeah, man.
I love that song.
That's
that shit hard.
Punch and the Itchy Bon Don, a.k.a. Willie B. And those are just the homies, 2 people that I respect. Me and Punch have been talking about doing music forever. Punch probably got albums of mine that I never put out.
Really?
Like as far as like 2010, like I would send him shit, and he was the president of TDE who was rapping, and I think we just kind of clicked because maybe people didn't initially know us for music,
making music.
But he's super talented. He got a new album coming out. This shit is fire. So Punch jumped on that record, and Itchy Bon Don jumped on that record. Again, these are just pure organic relations. These are just guys that I want to rap with. And if you notice, I don't think people even notice on Last Up at Babylon, I gave Punch, me and Punch are having a little competition. Not a competition, not like going at each other, but shit that rappers do.
Yeah.
I recorded my verse first, and all I had was the verse. I didn't have the hook. Willie B was like, y'all come up with the hook. Don't worry.
Right.
In my verse, I'm rapping the same word for 16 bars. I didn't switch up the pattern. I'm going straight
through.
You know what I'm saying? Damn, how does the verse start? I'm bugging right now. It's getting stranger by the second. People you never met were getting anger by your mention. And at your coronation, you could sense all the dissension. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using that.
Yeah.
So when I sent it to Punch, I said, yo, try to see if you could use the same thing for 16 too. So he did his. I don't really rap for real. I just do this to keep my true intentions concealed. So he's going 16. So it was a competition. It was like rap exercise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Still sharp and still.
Yeah. So that that's who I want to create with. Like I want to be able to do things like that the fan might not even pick up on. Yeah. But we having fun.
I damn sure did.
Yeah.
To be real with you.
So there's that. That was a record, and then the hooks. My man Junior did. Jehovah's Witness, talented dude from Toronto. And Yuri did a hook for me on Waves, and Day One, talented guy from Toronto, and the singers that I hooked up with just did things on the album that I couldn't do. I can't do that dance hall, that reggae thing on Jehovah's Witness.
Rhythm,
but I knew what I wanted to hear because I'm from Brooklyn. Like, you understand, Foxy Brown, Broken Silence. I think Foxy is one of the best on a street level of blending hip hop and reggae. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted Junior, and Junior's a singer, but he's Jamaican. And he's from Toronto. He said, "Wait, hold on." And he just did his Bad Mind shit. And so it was just connecting with talented artists who you may not know or who may be on the rise. And Junior is actually popping; he got millions of streams. But it was about connecting with people that I actually enjoy being with in real life, and who could do things that I couldn't do.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, who else did you reach out to for features? Anybody that only hit you when it's time for their rollout type shit? Like, yo, I need a favor now.
Nah, it wasn't like that. There was other people that I reached out to, and it just didn't work out. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But we were honest about that. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like animosity. Like, I say this Logic was supposed to be on The Greatest. I'm the greatest if nobody.
Yeah, because he made a song called The Greatest on one of his albums.
Yeah. That part is coincidental, but when I had reached out, he was just like, he was finishing his album. And he was doing 2 albums in the book. You see what he's doing.
Yeah, he's wild.
And so he was straight up. He's like, damn, when do you need it by? And I'm like, I got to put it out this. I need it by this. He was like, yo, I just don't think I could get it in that time. Like, and there's nothing. There's no animosity there. Like, he was straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the bro.
Wasn't like he played you. It was just I'm busy.
Yeah, he was straight up. Like, and I get that shit. Like, the things that he's working on. Me and Wale always talk about doing something. It just never work out. It's just like time and shit. But, you know what I'm saying? That's another one. Like, it ain't. You know what I'm saying? He's fucking. I think he's one of the illest. Yeah,
let me ask you some hip hop shit about Wale. Now, what are your thoughts about his career and the music that he's putting out that's just not hitting for some people? Because I think he's been rapping his ass off for years, and he just put out a clip of Sun on Instagram. I'm not sure if that song is out, but I like that shit. But for some reason, he's not in the same conversation with his contemporaries. Him and Big Crit, I feel like, put out amazing music,
right?
And it just don't fucking hit.
It just I don't know what the problem is, Wale. I think the problem is who's having the conversation. I think we've allowed everybody to be in on the conversation. And if I'm being real, and especially when you factor in social media, there's no filter. Yeah. So how do you know who's really a hip hop head? How do you know who's really listening? But everybody got an opinion. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think most people don't like rap.
What do you mean?
I think people don't like rap. I think people don't like rap. I think
like they like the culture of hip hop, but they don't like the actual music type thing.
No, the actual art of rapping.
The art of rap. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's what Kendrick, the motherfucking Killer Mike would be platinum.
Right. Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I don't think like the art of rap. You know, I think Kendrick is an amazing rapper, but he's also amazing at songwriting and positioning himself in a certain way to be at that top spot. Not that Wale isn't, but it's a popularity contest now.
Yeah, but I feel like he's done all the right things, because that song that he had with G-Eazy, I felt like that shit should have been got him out of here. Like that was an easy one.
But the other thing is, Wale's out of here.
To who
he has
though?
Platinum records. We gonna act like Lotus Flower Bomb wasn't a smash. We gonna act like Bad wasn't a smash. Like, he has platinum plaques all on his wall.
But
like,
if we talking about validation,
right?
He's the number one of screaming from his soapbox, "Yo, I'm dope. Why the fuck don't y'all see it? Why am I not getting my flowers? Why am I not up there with the Coles and the Kendricks?"
And that's why I say there's degrees to it, right? I think every artist feels like that. I think any artist that says none of that matters to me, I don't care about validation, I'm doing this just for me, is lying. But I think there's degrees to it. And I think we've seen Wale on a large degree be very vocal about it when a lot of artists aren't vocal about it. But you know, now I'm not gonna say it does. I don't know if it bothers him still or not.
It has to.
But he's been doing a good job. He's like, look, man, I just post about food now. Yo, he's been doing a good job of not letting it
Keep
trigger
it to my
him.
daughter food, and that's it.
But I also think when social media is this thing, when people knew that it bothers Wale, so they keep picking at it.
So it was
they keep picking
the
at
cool
it
thing to hate on Twitter and shit.
And they don't. But it's always the cool thing to hate on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, it's a popularity contest now, even more than ever, and it's always been so. But it's a popularity contest, and there's certain people that I won't talk rap with anymore, like, because it's just like, especially on Twitter, because it's just like anybody can say anything.
Anybody can say any fucking thing.
And what are we listening to? Like, you know what I'm saying?
What's your metric of hip hop? Like, what do you like? Who's your top 5? That's how I judge people. Like,
of all time, my top 5 favorite artists. I mean, it goes Jay, Nas, Big, Pac, Scarface, for me.
That's your personal.
Yeah, that's my personal top 5.
Cool.
I mean, but when we talking about lyricists, you know, and this is like artists, you know what I'm saying? But when you just talk about spitters, like, I don't know if anybody right now is rapping as good as Royce the 5'9". Like, at this point,
at this point in time,
years,
yeah.
You know, I think Wale is up there in that conversation. I think Kendrick is up there in that conversation. I think Black Thought, of course.
Black Thought.
I just heard, I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but
probably next week.
Okay, so it'll be out by next week. But the new Benny the Butcher project, I really fuck with.
His shit is constantly in rotation with me. Yo, Benny the Butcher something else.
He got a joint with Black Thought on there where him and Thought are just, there's no hook.
That's a rapping ass song. Man.
Yeah, man. I really fuck with that shit. Pusha, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but you know, I enjoy rap. Like, I don't need a hook. I don't need a catchy hook. I don't need a million followers. Like, you know who I like? She don't even have songs, and she can rap. Like this is just how much I love the art of rap. There's an artist by the name of Lady London.
Yeah,
and I talk about her all the time. A lot of her songs. She has a few songs out on SoundCloud, a couple of videos on YouTube, but I think she's really just putting her project together now. But the majority of her stuff is selfie style videos where she's just freestyling.
Just freestyling, yeah. Sick.
And I just fuck with the way she put words together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need her to. I want her to have success, but her success or any artist's success doesn't validate for me how nice you are. Like, you can rap, you can rap.
It's a lot of motherfuckers that can't rap, but they broke or they don't have that.
Right.
You know, that star quality.
And there's a lot of motherfuckers that can't rap that have that star quality,
but they
getting over.
They found a way in that pocket. That's all you need. You need to find I hate it, but you need to find a gimmick. And that's the shit that I really hate where hip hop is going, where it's like you just need to do some dumb shit on social media. Because, like, I talk about this with my boy all the time. Like, yo, if you want to get on, just diss somebody cool on social media. Like, the whole Lil Pump shit, the only way he got on was saying fuck J. Cole, and then J. Cole responded, boom, Lil Pump.
Yeah. But, you know, it'll be interesting to see what Lil Pump is. Like, that was the first time I've had a Lil Pump conversation with anybody in a long time. Like, it comes as quick as it goes. Like, if that works for you, cool. But it's not sustainable.
Right.
Eventually, you're going to have to rap.
Yeah.
And if we really look at, regardless of popularity and what's hot, if you can rap, you can have a 20-year career. Because the style is always going to change. There's going to be a time when nobody wants to hear Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. But if you could rap for 20 years.
That shit don't age well, yeah.
Again, we're talking about Styles P. Like, you know, he might not be the number one guy on Billboard, but Styles P is able to feed his family
forever.
Because he could always drop a project because he
perform.
could rap. You know what I'm saying? Look at Killer Mike. Killer Mike found new life with this Run the Jewels. He's almost 20 years into his career because he could rap. T.I. will always be able to put out an album because he could rap. Jay will always be able to put out an album because he could rap. They may not be at the point where these are the number one guys anymore, but if you could rap, you could always put out a project. Eminem could put out, no matter what you feel about Eminem, He'll put out projects forever because his fans is in tune, and no matter what you feel, M can rap.
I'm trying not to lose him in my top 5, but these last 3 men, I've been like, yo, M, you my nigga. You rhymed orange. That shit blew my mind when I heard it. But nigga, you on some other shit right now, and I can't really fuck with it.
But if you could, rap, I think the rap part never goes out of style. It might not always be the most popular, but if you could rap, you could put out a project.
Like when you trying to like somebody's album, and it's not just you just hearing it like, oh shit, and it's like, I love this nigga, but he I don't know. So now back to your project, right? Now Raheem's funeral, was that a true story?
Yeah.
True story.
Raheem's Funeral is a record that I tried to write for years.
Okay.
I had somebody very close to me who was murdered. And we all know who was involved in it. But it's so close to home, there's nothing you could do. You're fucked every which way.
Yeah.
Being in the funeral home and looking in that casket and seeing the reasons why, or like a catalyst to why, and having the front like it's all good,
right?
But also having the threat of it's not safe in this funeral home right now. Like also, like you trying to hold it together, but there's other people who aren't, and it could go down.
They not as calm, cool, and collected. They not as cultured as I am. There's a lot of ignorant motherfuckers that like, yo, just say the word.
And grandmothers is here, kids is here. I try to write that record so much, and that record, damn, it's crazy that you picked up on it, because most people didn't. Most people just think it's about Juice. It's about the scene in Juice, Raheem's funeral, when Pop comes and kisses the mother, and he was the one who did it. I tried to write that record so many times, and I couldn't, through kind of writer's block, through not wanting to give up too much information because it's real,
and then bring yourself back to that emotion that you probably don't want to revisit.
And so I wrote it in kind of a coded sort of way, where I wrapped it up in the mystique of Juice. That was tough, and that was a personal, super personal record to write. It's even hard to talk about. But yeah, it was a true story. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, I forget. I think was it the first record that you said you saw somebody one of your boys do some whole shit.
Yeah.
Now, do you still rock with him, or y'all parted ways?
We still rock, but I definitely told him about it. I was just like,
called him out on this shit.
Yeah, I see my man do some whole shit. Talk behind this dude's back. He said some real cold shit. You know me, mind my business. I don't know shit. But you on the gram with him posing in a bro pic.
Right.
That's the other part. Don't bro me to death. It goes back to the same thing. So it's like, on one instance, you kind of shitting on this dude. Who I'm cool with too, but you the homie, but you shitting on this dude.
Right.
And then I turn around, and the next day y'all on the gram like, oh my bro. I'm like, fam, what happened?
Like what?
So, I clowned him for that. But that really happened. But it just, again, it goes back to that theme of it's too late at the wake. If that's really your man, then let that be your man. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying?
Say that to him.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're all human too, and we all make mistakes. But, it's definitely like, wow. But yeah, that's me. And if anybody knows me, that's kind of me. You know me, my business, I don't know shit.
Right, yeah.
Like, I try to stay out the way, dog. Hey. But I saw you on the gram with him, and you posing in the bro pic. You got to love him or you leave him. Yeah, they said I was a shit, but fuck you because you believe him. It's just kind of this, we gang all the way or we not, man.
Right,
You can't be like this half-step of shit. Appreciate me while I'm still here. Hold me down even when I'm not around and somebody talk crazy about me. Like, you gonna allow that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So now, taking it back to your first project, right? So that drops July 2017, I want to say?
Yeah.
Now, is that when you actually started, I guess, I don't want to say taking rap serious, but finally said, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want to do and not worry about what outside sources have to say, what everyone else. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. This has been on my mind for so long. Yeah. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, that was it. It started. I was on the Breakfast Club promoting something with Genius, and Charlamagne was kind of clowning me. Rob, did you ever used to rap? I hope you never used to rap, man. I'm glad that journalism is your calling. And
when his name was Dizzy Van Winkle. How the fuck he gonna talk?
Nah, that's the homie. But Charlamagne has this thing, and he's right. He was like, yo, make sure, live your dream, but make sure you live in your dream and not somebody else's dream. So he was asking me about that, and here I am on the biggest radio station in the culture, in the world, and the biggest platform, and I knew people that I grew up with who knew I rap. So if I lied, just to be like, nah, man, I never used to rap. Like it's people back home like, nah, son, and you used to get busy, right? So I live much. Nah, rap. Matter of fact, I just wrote this verse, and I kicked the verse a cappella, and and then I ended up signing a deal with Empire off of that. The first person to hit me up after I kicked that verse a cappella was Killer Mike. And Killer Mike's not a person I love and respect for him, and he's the homie, but we don't speak every day or very often. Like I might just hit him. His birthday's on 4/20. I always remember Killer Mike's birthday. Hit him up on his birthday, might catch up with him. But Killer Mike was the first person to hit me. He said, yo, I see what you're doing. I like it. Keep going. And to get that validation. So from that moment, and then I ended up signing the deal and doing my first project with Empire. Okay. And that was the moment I was like, man, I don't give a fuck what nobody think.
Now, what was that first session like? Because you went in there with Ryo, right? Yeah,
Ryo, man.
Shout out to Ryo.
That's funny. We're in Ryo's studio now. Yeah. He was recording out another studio in Sunset Park, Brooklyn at the time. And Hovain, I was like, damn, where I'm going to go record? He was like, yo, I know my man Ryo got a spot. So I had actually been to that spot that Ryo was at recording before. Because, again, I was doing music way before. But he said, nah, my man Ryo, let Ryo do the whole project. Okay. Because I just want somebody I could trust at this point. Because I knew the stakes was going to be high. So me and Hovain walk in. And me and Ryo never met, but he knew me from interviews. He saw me do interviews. So we walk in, and he's like, all right, where's the artist? Hovain was like, Rob's the artist. He was like, he didn't know that I was, Hovain was just like, yo, I'm bringing the artist through. And he was like, okay, where's the artist? And it's like, it's Rob. He's like, oh, all right. Like, so, it was that. And I had did 2 songs that night, and it came out dope. You know what I'm saying? I think I did Ben's for my birthday, I believe, and I Don't Want to Wait. Okay. Maybe it was the first 2 songs that I did. Now it's blurry now, but Ryo was like, "Oh shit, now you can rap," and we just kept going from there.
Now, when you went in there on that first session, was the intention to make a project or just to record songs?
Yeah, no. When I went in with Ryo, I knew we was recording the project. Okay, that's why we sought Ryo out, because I said, man, I didn't want to work with a lot of people, and I didn't want to work in the studio. I didn't want to go to Manhattan. I didn't want to go like Blast Off or Quad, or I didn't want to go to any studio where I thought I might run into rappers that I know. Okay. I just wanted to kind of do it and let people know when it was out, this is what I'm doing. I didn't want people to know what I was doing. So, Ryo had a low key spot in Sunset, and we used to go there, and I wanted to lock in with one person. I didn't want a lot of people around. I'm still the type, there's never a lot of people in my studio sessions. It's usually just me and the engineer. Yeah. Because everything else feels like a distraction.
Okay. Now, what was your first rap name?
Oh my God.
And I want the bad one.
Nah, like it was bad. I
don't want BK like Cypher. I want the bad
BK
one.
Cypher was bad.
That's not that bad. Like if J. Cole could come out and say his name was the pharmacist, I don't think there's a lot of shit that's that bad.
One of my first ones was D-Cypher.
D-Cypher.
So and then that's where BK Cypher came from. Like we just shortened it because I didn't like that. Sever was another one.
Sever? Okay.
Yeah, which was like that. That's also when I was trying my hand at graffiti. Okay. So that was the name I used to tag with. Yeah, but that shit didn't work out. That was terrible. So those are like the 2 early. names.
Okay.
Terrible.
Now, how hard was it to put rap to the side and say, I gotta support myself and my family, and I might not be able to pick this back up?
It was tough. I remember the night that I had to choose. The night that I got the phone call, like, from my job. At the time, I was working at XXL, and I've told the story before. I was working at XXL, and I got a call from one of the higher ups, like, "Yo, they about to put the axe on you for this rap and shit." And I'm like, wow. I'm like, it wasn't even a secret though. Like, I had joints on Two Dope Boys, Mad Right. I would take my glasses off and whatever the pictures I would use, but it was like Clark Kent Superman.
Yeah.
It didn't take a scientist.
Genius,
It's me. Like, it was never a secret.
Yeah.
I didn't come into work with it. Like, it was still something I did on my own time.
Okay.
But, you know, they thought it might be a conflict of interest. And the game was different back then. Like, I could see how it could be misconstrued. And I got like a late night call, like it's like midnight, like, and I'm at XXL. The money isn't good. Like, it's like I'm just getting by. Like, every month you got to figure out where to pay the bill. Okay, I'm gonna do half the light bill, and so I could pay this. And then you there figuring it out. So it wasn't like the money was great. But it was better than unemployment. Right. You know what I'm saying? I got my sons. So I remember getting that call. It was late at night. It was around midnight, and there was a fucking lump in my throat. Like, I was about to cry. Just from the emotion of, yo, I'm not doing nothing wrong. Like, this job is, I love my job. It's barely paying the bills. And the shit that makes me happy, I can't even do. And when my man called me, he called me so sad. He was one of the high ups, and I remember having this lump in my throat, and then just feeling like I did something wrong. Like, yo, I ain't do nothing wrong. All right, man up though. Fuck it. Fuck rap. Like, I gotta feed my kid, man. I gotta feed my family. So it hurt, but it wasn't a tough decision. I made the decision right then and there. And I still wrote records, or I would do raps, I would do shit in my basement and just never, you know, send them to the homies or whatever. But I would never put them out, you know what I mean?
Okay. Now, a XXL question. I don't want to bring that shit up, but I got to ask this, right? So now, I was having a conversation with Mickey Fax, right? And
it's Mickey.
So the nigga said he brought you Drake to put on the freshman cover, and you was like, nah.
Me?
You didn't see it for Drake.
He brought me Drake?
He said he mentioned something to you. He said Rob Markman, he mentioned something to you and said,
you gotta get Mickey on the phone. Nah, it just didn't. First of all, when me and Mickey had the Drake conversation, the freshman cover was done. It was the freshman cover came out like in November of that year. Okay. That Mickey was on. We shot the shit in August. It was funny because before I worked at XXL, I had pitched XXL Drake for Show and Prove for the when he dropped the comeback season tape. Right. And as a freelancer, I was a freelancer at that point. And it was like, nah, for whatever reason. I think the thing with Drake is just timing, but it wasn't even. We had that conversation after.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was around the time of maybe the VMAs, because that's when Wayne came, or some award show when Wayne came out and spit the verse to Money to Blow before we knew what the Money to Blow thing was. But everybody, you know, people on the inside knew that Drake had that verse. But the cover was shot already. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And Drake didn't have anything out during that summer when Drake starts to heat up. Because I remember distinctly.
So what the fuck did Mickey hear that? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, Mickey knew Drake.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
So Mickey had, because they did Overdose for Life with Travis McCoy. Like, they did that. So he knew. So he might have been hearing some records, but it wasn't like shit was coming out. Right. Like, I feel like, for me, when I really seen, and this is just me being honest, when I seen things start heating up with Drake, was maybe December of that year when he dropped Ransom. When him and Wayne was going back and forth with Ransom.
That was one.
We was like, yo, this is hard. And then everybody went away for Christmas break, and when we came back, it might have been January 2nd or 3rd, like when everybody comes back from after New Year's, is Every Girl drops. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this is going to be a problem. And then February is so far gone. So for me, at least through my recollection, that shit really started going. Like, he had comeback season and everybody was like, all right, this shit is dope. But it had died down. I guess he was working on whatever. And you know, and then I think the heating up of Drake So Far Gone starts to happen in December, if I'm remembering it correctly. But the cover was already shot. Like, that cover was shot, it was summertime. It was shot in all the things about magazines are shot way in advance.
Right.
Because you gotta go through edits, you gotta go through the printer. So if you see something on the stands in November,
that shit was shot months ago.
It was shot months ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? So damn, and Mickey gonna put me all the way under the bus. That shit crazy. All right, Mick.
I gotta go get the actual quote. I'm gonna chop it in somewhere, but now
I'm gonna hit. Let's call him right now.
I mean, you can call him.
Yeah,
I mean,
man,
gotta
come
I don't know. Forget it. But now you picked up this rap thing, right?
And by the way, me and Mickey had a joint from back in the day.
Oh, word?
Like, Mickey was one of the ones that knew I could rap. Me and in the BK Sype days, me and Mickey had a joint.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Now you're rapping, you're working. This rap thing is on the side now. Obviously, you know, married, kids, whatever. How do you run this past your wife and say, "Yo, I want to do this. I want to rap too," but it's not gonna bring in no money. I just want to do this though.
Well, she always knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
she always knew, but it's like I'm pursuing it now.
Yeah.
Now it's later nights.
Yeah. We brought in a little bit of money for the first project too, but it wasn't a money thing. It's never a money thing with me and her. Like, we ain't. She was concerned about. She was like, wait, because she didn't understand it either. She was like, so what you like? You gonna quit? I was like, nah, this ain't that. And then she was like, so what? You gonna go on tour? Like, you just gonna be gone for 3 months at a time? I said, yo, you 10 steps ahead. I'm not even there yet. I'm just trying to get this thing out.
I haven't done the first session with Ryo yet.
Yeah. So I think when we had, she was definitely like, you know, because I think you see what the lifestyle is and what it is. So I think that might have been the first thing that came to her mind. But when I sat down and spoke to her and told her what it is, she was like, oh, I get it.
Okay.
And she's been super supportive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's good. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Now, so you're 2 albums in, had songs on the radio, Rolling Loud performance, a bunch of performances. Now, is there any part of you that wants to go full throttle with this thing?
With the music?
With the music.
Yeah. Like I'm going, like, to me, I'm going full throttle now. I'm trying to drop another project this year.
This year?
You know, say yeah, absolutely. Like,
so you've been working already?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just starting another project, and God willing, there's gonna be another project this year. So to me, that's full throttle. You know, if the question is one or the other, I don't have a desire for that. But I take when I'm rapping, I take my rapping seriously. So it's like it's not like a hobby to me. You know what I mean? So full throttle in the sense, yes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if it means doing the rapping and putting genius to the side, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I saw you not too long ago using the studio with Punch. Are you able to speak on what happened or what y'all talked about? Or?
He played me his album.
Okay, he played you.
Yeah, that's the homie. He was in New York, and he was like, "Yo, pull up to the studio," and you know, I laid a verse. Like, we worked on something, not for his album, just yeah. I don't know where that's gonna end up. You know, there was like other artists in the studio too, so we worked on something. I don't know who ends up on the record or what. Like, it was really just flexing and creating, and then he played his album.
Okay.
Yeah, for the homies, and you know, we just talked about this project and stuff like that. Super dope body of work, man. That dude creates with such a purpose. And it's so layered, and what I love about his album, and not to give too much away, but you know, it sounds like there's things that are very, you know, LA, there's things that are very Watts about it, very Nickerson Gardens, like things very true to his neighborhood and his upbringing that's unique to it. And there's themes that run in this album, and we understand it because we all come from the hood, but it feels like I'm there. It doesn't feel like, you know, I'm from Flatbush, Brooklyn.
He paints a picture real well.
Super well, but it feels very unique to his location on the map. And I think that's what we miss from rap. I think sometimes you can hear rap and everything sounds like it comes from one place. Everything sounds like it comes from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Or whatever, down to the slang, to this to that, and I hear that, and I could see how he came up, and I could see a different place, different from the place that I came up, and that's what I kind of appreciate about it. It's super cinematic in that way.
You know when it's coming out?
Nah.
He got a release date or no?
Yeah. That's the one. I stay pressing him for that. I don't know if there's a hard release date, but sooner than later, I heard an album. I heard a complete album. All right. Top to bottom.
All right. Now, you've had some really high highs in hip-hop. Now, what have been your lows?
My lows in hip-hop. You know, when prior to working in the industry, like, I was working in the mailroom for a clothing company named Delia's. And it's funny, Delia's is a place that a lot of rappers work.
Okay.
Because the hours were flexible. I worked in the mailroom, but it was a call center. I met Immortal Technique used to work there. Poison Pen used to work there. A Mill from Rockefeller used to work there. She used to be our supervisor over at customer service.
Oh, shit.
Like, you know, a ton. Bad Seed, shout out to Bad Seed. But you know, that's where I worked, and I worked in the mailroom. And then I got into this place where I was like writing album reviews for The Source of XXL and Vibe at night, as a side thing. When I got my first full-time job, it was at a place called Scratch Magazine. I don't know if you remember Scratch Magazine. It was the sister magazine to XXL. So XXL had XXL, and then they had XXL Presents Scratch Magazine. Which
sounds like vaguely familiar.
It was the magazine where they put producers on the cover. So Dr. Dre was on the first cover.
That makes sense.
Primo got a cover.
Yeah.
So they brought me in at the tail end. Brendan Frederick, who now is the director of content, he oversees all the content at Genius. He brought me into Scratch and took a chance on me. And they were honest. They were like, "Listen, man, the magazine is not doing well. It might not be around much longer. We trying to save it." And he hired me. He gave me my first full-time job.
Okay.
As a journalist. So I left my mailroom job where I was making more money. I was making more money in the mailroom than I was making at Scratch Magazine. And also then I couldn't freelance for other magazines. Okay. So all the freelance money I was making on top of my mailroom salary, I couldn't get that either.
Couldn't do that no more.
I took a major hit to go there financially, but it was something that I love to do. At this point, I had my first kid. So I'm like, man, we're gonna take a chance.
That's a crazy chance. Like first kid, you don't know what to expect. Dad.
I bought my first crib too. I bought a house. Me and my wife had bought a house at that time, and working in the mailroom. And so what happens is I go to Scratch Magazines for less money, and then three months later, a couple months later, 3 issues later, the magazine folds. So I get called. And Elliot Wilson is the editor-in-chief of XXL at the time, so he's overseeing the whole operation. So I go to lunch. I remember it was a night, man, I must have worked till midnight that night. And I come back the next day. We sent the magazine to the printer. Next day was easy. I go out to lunch with somebody. It was rare that I took a whole lunch break. You know what I'm saying? But it was rare that anybody took a whole lunch break. Whole staff worked hard, but we had just shipped out to the printer. It wasn't much to do the next day. And when I come back, they was like, "Yo, Elliot's looking for you." And when they told me that, I knew what it was. Because Elliot was never... We talked
but he was
a little bit, but I was so junior. It wasn't like we had conversations. It wasn't like he ever sought me out. Yeah. So when they was like, Elliot's looking for you, I said, oh,
shit.
Here it go. And they let me go. They were folding the magazine. It wasn't personal. You know what I'm saying? They were folding the magazine. And a couple of weeks before, I had found out my wife was pregnant with my second kid. So I got 2 kids on the way. I took a pay cut. And... kind of struggling to pay the bills, and I left. So that was tough because I was like, did I make the wrong decision? I should have stayed in the mailroom. Because when I was in the mailroom, there was people telling me I wasn't cut out for journalism. You'll never make it. You'll never do it. Like, just stick to the mailroom. Do your thing. Yeah. And I was like, damn, did I make a mistake and fuck shit up? I'm just thinking about my kids at that point.
Yeah.
Did I fuck shit up? Am I going to lose this house? Then I had to refinance the house. All types of shit, and I was unemployed for about 3 months. But then XXL hired me back. They had an opening, and they hired me back for the same salary. So I'm still making way less than I made in the mailroom. And at that time, I remember I would charge gas, and this is when gas was sky high. Gas was through the fucking roof.
Like $3-4.
Yeah, any gas and my groceries, I would charge, and I just wouldn't pay the credit card off. So I accumulated like a lot of debt, just kind of getting like necessities and shit like that. But so that was probably like the low point, because it had me really questioning if I made the right decision. You know.
Okay.
But we got through that.
Got through the hard times. So everything's good now. So now back to the music side. Now who's on your list of artists that you still want to work with? That you've yet to work with?
Everybody, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
anybody who's great, like
somebody,
Jay-Z, like,
right? Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I want to rap with people who could rap for real. Like it was so dope to me. It felt dope to rap alongside Styles P.
Yeah,
somebody who I knew is so dope and has been dope, and me hearing it back and being like, yo, I don't care if you think he had a better verse or if I had the better verse. Chris Street came off too. Yeah. But I kept up. There's nobody who could hear that record and be like, bro, I don't belong on this record. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sound like you always going to debate about your favorite. So, it goes back to that still sharp as steel, or being able to rap with punch. And actually, I think Itchy Ball and Don, I think Willie B had the best verse on Last Up at Babylon. He killed that shit.
He killed that shit.
But being able to rap and force each other to keep up and elevating, like that's who I kind of want to collaborate with. So, the Royce, the 5'9", like anybody who's just going to like force me to have to really do the very best that I could do. Royce would be amazing. I mean, Hove is like a dream collaboration, but Kiss, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not really thinking about collaborating. I don't know if there's going to be many, at least rap features on this next album.
What's the direction of this next album? Is it more geared towards something more personal? Is it?
It's still kind of working out, but it's in a similar vein. I would say expect it to make, because to me, Right to Dream was a statement. That was me telling people, yo, you got a right to dream, and don't let nobody get in your way and nobody stop you. It's Too Late at the Wake had a message to it. Definitely expect the next project to make a statement.
Okay.
A motivational statement, a strong motivational statement. I think that's kind of my calling. I think when I see the fans kind of reach out to me about what it is that they love, they fuck with the music, but they fuck with the way the music make them feel. The music make them feel like they could break through to whatever they trying to break through. So it's going to be a continuation of that for sure.
Now, you spoke earlier about haters, right? And niggas just, saying wayward, off the wall shit. Now, every so often, right, like on the Joe Budden podcast, Maul will throw a shot, right? Now, what Rockefeller album did you give a bad review, or like what's up with you and Maul?
I met Maul one time, so I don't know. The funny thing is, I haven't listened to the Joe Budden podcast in a long time, so like I hear things that get back to me, and I can't tell you what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's not stopping nothing that I'm doing. Like, I don't even really hear the shots. Like, people... And then, too, the other thing is, I don't listen to the podcast. I don't listen to very many podcasts. I have my own podcast, and I used to be like, damn, well, how do people even listen to this?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And it comes back to you. Twitter says something. Yo, they said this. Or one of the homies hit me. Yo, they said that. And then, I find like in times like that, when you go back, it's like somebody's putting extra on it. It might not never be quite the way that the person said it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't go looking for it. Somebody's like, yo, he said this and that about you. I'm all right.
Yeah, because I just be listening. I'm like, he didn't do shit to you. Like, random shots. I was like, it was one time, it was just like a random shit. Like, they was talking about something completely different. It was like, yo, I just saw this shit on Instagram, and he just rattled that off and just... It was like a snide remark. I was like, what do you got against Rob, my nigga?
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what to say about it, man, because it's like, people going to say shit about you in this game, and the more you put yourself out there, it's funny. It's like, I remember when nobody wanted to talk about me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you going to do? I've listened to the podcast before. Like I said, I haven't listened in a long time. They talk about people. Nicki Minaj gets talked about.
Good job.
That's like,
yeah.
So if you putting yourself out there, you're gonna get talked about. So if I zero in on this one thing, it is what it is. If it's a real issue, it's a real issue, and at some point it'll come to a head. But I ain't even like, I don't go looking for it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like why would I go? Yo, he said something. Oh, yo, what's the timestamp? I gotta hear. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, but shit like that bothers me. It's like, yo, why am I in your mouth, bitch? Like, I don't be getting like, yo, we gotta address it as men. Like, what's the problem?
Right. I don't know him to even address it. Like we met one time. One time I was a guest on the podcast a while ago, and it was cool.
Wasn't
so I couldn't tell you.
You're right.
Yeah, the energy was cool. I could, and to me, it hasn't been an action since. So
okay.
I don't know, but I don't walk around like worrying about it. Like it's not a real issue.
Yeah, it's not a
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
I hope
it's like,
not, but you know, it is what it is.
Nah, like it can't be. Like
it can't. I don't know shit.
Yeah,
mind my business.
You know me, mind my business. I don't know shit.
Exactly. Now, one bar you said, I forgot the song. It said, I just want to be remembered. What does Rob Markman want to be remembered for when it's all said and done?
Well, what's the bar? I just focus on my legacy, and if I'm lucky, maybe one day they remember me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that I did the right way.
Okay.
And I put my love to the forefront. I put what I love to the forefront, and that, you know, hopefully, I think when it's all said and done, that I inspire people. But, you know, that I did the right way. I ain't shortchanged it. I gave it my all. And the inspiration, that's a new thing now. I think I got into it, and a lot of people talk about how I inspired them. My journey inspires them, and that feels dope. So if I can inspire you to do something great, that's amazing. Like, remember me for that.
Oh,
yeah.
Now, wait, hold up. One last thing, right? Red Light Special.
Yeah.
Ever coming back?
I don't know. I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Yeah. You know, it goes back to that thing that I said. Like, I used to have a podcast, right? The Red Light Special. And
did you ever talk to T-Pain?
Yeah, I did. We did a Genius level with T-Pain over at Genius. We did a whole big hour-long interview. Yeah, man, I'm gonna send you the link. But we tried to get T-Pain so many times on the Red Light Special.
I remember listening like, yo, we just need T-Pain, and I can say I'm done. But it's like you never got T-Pain, the shit just ended.
Yeah. No, what happened was, though, with the Red Light Special is it was just, I realized that I was doing podcasts and it was cool, but I didn't love it. It started to become work. Yeah, and I wasn't getting the money. Like, it wasn't like monetarily making sense. Yeah. At that point, and it was work to book it, to come up with something to talk about every week, and I just realized my heart wasn't in it, and I didn't have the time. Like, I was still new to Genius at that point, so I'm still trying to build Genius and
get your
build my thing
and
and get acclimated.
Now you got this
to it, and then at the tail end is when the rapping thing started to come into play. Okay. So I knew there was no way I could do Genius, do an album, and do the podcast. And then my heart just wasn't in it anymore, and I was just like, man, I personally can't do it. Like, it just didn't make sense. I didn't enjoy doing it. And you know, it was crazy because Kristen is dope, and her and I remain friends to this day. You know, I wanted her to. I was like, continue it, like, find another, like, take it, run with it. Like,
that's kind of hard, man. Once you do that many episodes and build that rapport, it's kind of hard to just throw somebody else in there.
But even that too, again, it goes back to not getting what you want out of it too, and the validation. While I was doing it, I was like, yo, is anybody listening? Like, and
it was a bunch of motherfuckers you put me on to. I was like, yo, I like this nigga.
I wasn't. It's funny, man. Rest in peace to Combat Jack, because Reggie Osei, man, we did that on the Loudspeakers Network, and Reggie took a chance. I went to go meet Reggie for advice. I was just like, yo, how do podcasts work? Because I was just thinking about it. It wasn't even something.
Oh, you shouldn't have told Reggie that shit.
And I gave him the idea. He said, okay, so you're going to start Monday.
Yeah. like he was always jumping like, yo, you got an idea? We're going to do it here? Okay, cool.
So we did it. And amazing. Like that he welcomed me with open arms, because that was a brother that I respect. And Chris Morrow as well, who was the Loudspeaker Network. And Chris, they really believed in us. And Chris Morrow really believed in the project, in the podcast. And he thought we was early in the space. He said, yo, there's about to be an explosion of R&B. Nobody is doing it in the space, in the podcast space, the way you guys are doing it. You're going to be in the forefront. Like, you're feeling the pain now because it's early. Right. But you have to keep on. You have to be consistent and just keep on and watch. And I just, my heart wasn't in it to be as consistent as it was, with all the work that it took versus everything else that I was going on. Right. If I didn't have genius and I didn't have music, I could dedicate time to it. It wasn't that I didn't love R&B. It was a lot that went into it, though. And he was right. R&B exploded after that. Like, I think about a lot of times who would have been on that podcast. Like, we had Bryson Tiller on the podcast, like, early. But we ended the podcast before Daniel Caesar comes out for real. Yeah. Before Khalid comes out for real. Before her, like the explosion of her. Ari Lennox. Like artists who are doing amazing things in the R&B space right now. I think it could have been a home for them. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever come back. I just don't know when I'd find the time. And I think people are also now starting to fill that space of content for R&B.
Yeah, it's kind of like an oversaturation, but you get in where you fit in type of thing. Yeah. But I think I'm done with all my questions. I don't got shit else. So where can everybody find you? Where can they find your music, social medias, all that good stuff?
It's just Rob Markman, ROB, That's Instagram, that's Twitter. Facebook is Rob Markman Music. You can find me on Genius. I do a show every week called For the Record. And my music, man, on Spotify, Apple, just anywhere you listen to music is on Audio Mac. Anywhere you listen to music, Rob Markman. Is Too Late at the Wake. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna stand up here and front like. Stream it, man. Let's get them streams.
Let's get them fucking streams up, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the streams ain't everything, but it really helps move things. But hit me, man. Talk to me. I talk back. It's all good. Like I said, whether it's 1 or 100, whether it's 100 or 1 million, I fuck with everybody who support it. And I just want to thank you, dog, because this is a really dope interview. This might have been the dopest interview I've done.
It means a lot to me. From a motherfucker that interviews people for a living, that hits me right in my heart.
It's dope because I feel like you listen to the project, you like picked up on things, and it's the way I approach my interviews as well. And so sometimes it's hard for me to be interviewed because I
want to treat you like an actual artist instead of like like the journalism shit everybody talks about that. Rob Markman, but I wanted to actually know Rob Markman, the artist, the rapper. Yeah, stuff like that. So
but even the mall question, I'm like, oh, he in it. Like,
I listen, I take notes. I'm like, yo, one day I'm gonna fucking talk to this nigga. I'm writing shit down.
I wish I had a better answer for you. Like, I wish I had something that might go further for you.
Because like I said, the 2 times I seen you in Connecticut, it was like, I want to go up to him, but it's like niggas swarming them. I don't want to, be one of them people in the crowd like, one day I'm gonna just interview him and then we're gonna get our picture and we're gonna chop it up and then it's gonna be
I don't never feel like that, by the way. Like, sometimes it's like it just might be too much to pay everybody attention.
Exactly.
But if a motherfucker, I'm just on some, if a motherfucker show me love, like I'm gonna show that love right back, because it could be the other way. And a lot of times there'll be people in the crowd who might not, who they'll vibrate the love, like you'll feel that energy, but they won't necessarily come up to you, and that's cool too. But anybody who takes the time to stop and want to chop it up, like, I'm with that, man, because I know what that means. I know what that meant for me as I was making my journey. And I really feel we all just, like, my success or what kind of where I'm at in my career don't make me better than, like, you have the same potential. Like, it might be a year from now, we might be talking, this podcast might be the biggest thing in the fucking world.
Speak that into existence.
That's what I'm saying, though. But it's like, the amount of listens you get or streams you get or your popularity or your follow on Twitter, none of that shit matters.
None of it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we all the same at the end of the day, because those of us that have it, that shit can go away. What's going to happen when Instagram stops counting likes, right? They said they're going to stop displaying how many likes you get. What's going to happen?
I swear I want to write a movie about that shit where the internet just fucking goes away.
But do you see that shit when Instagram goes down? You see how crazy shit get
Yo,
on Twitter?
everybody's on Twitter like, yo, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, it's like, nigga, go outside, go read a book, go do something. Like, live life. Instagram, you like, this fucking phone. I hate this phone. I just gotta be on it though.
Right.
So it is what it is. But Rob, yo, thank you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.
All
right. So one thing's for certain, we too much for these niggas and three much for these hoes. I go by the name of Domino. That's Rob Markman. And we out of here.
Yeah, all right.